Okay, this is the Middletown Springs Auditor Meeting, July 27th, 2026. It is 10:14. And present are Nita Birch Clay, Meredith Morgan, and Tracy Weatherhog. And the first thing to do is check the minutes from the June 29th meeting. So that's really just Meredith and me. See, so we talked about the external audit. There was no update on the Hubbard brothers. Mostly we talked about the audit and what's coming up. And that's all in the minutes.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve.
Approve, second. Right, we are approved. Save that. Send that out after. Okay. So for today, anything to add to the agenda? Which is activities, finances, Hubbard, external audit. Pretty much the same as last time.
No, I think we're good.
Okay. All right. I'll start with the recent auditor activities. So because I'm now I'm coordinating the collection of information for the external audit. So I met with Jenny and spent a long time going over the to-do list. You can see many notes on the side there, figuring out what she had to do, what other people had to do, what things were not applicable. And then I met again with a team from the library, Kimberly, Bree, and Crystal, to do the same thing, because there are a lot of things they have to do as well, since they have separate accounts from the town that Jenny doesn't monitor. So there are a lot of things they have to do in terms of the general reports. And then they have the special single audit things they have to do, which seems to include a lot of paperwork, but apparently they've been keeping up with it. Kimberly is actually being paid to be the grant supervisor or monitor. So she keeps up with all of
They had funds in the grant for that?
They put funds, I think that from the town.
Yeah, I think they are too, because I think I heard that it couldn't come from that grant.
Right, they had to propose that, but it's really important because it takes a lot of time and effort to monitor all the different numbers coming and going, and the money flowing from here to there, and contracts and things. So I also wrote emails and or collected info from Patty and Heather. Patty got her stuff back to me right away, a few items. Heather, delinquent tax collector, she sent the information. She was the first one to get her stuff in.
Wow.
So, which are lists of the people who with delinquent taxes from June to June.
Wait, so who's doing it? Did you say Patty?
Well, no, that was Heather.
Heather.
Patty had to give me a couple of pieces of information. Oh, she had to do a thing about the pages that have been entered in the
in the report?
Real estate, or the book.
Okay.
I don't know what it's called.
The land records?
Yes, so she had all that information right away. It's lovely. And I haven't heard back from Robin, so I'll have to give him a nudge. The things we need from the select board.
Yeah, because he's going out of town
Oh, is he?
for a couple weeks today.
Okay, I'll nudge him today. And then I still have to get some things from the trust funds. So that's my focus. That's been my focus. And then I stopped for a bit because I was on vacation and I had a medical procedure. So moving along. Tracy, reconciliation.
The last reconciliation was horrible.
Oh.
It was just because of taxes and because of the
Oh,
way
right.
the online stuff comes in, it's just really hard to figure it out and reconcile between, you know, the entries on NEMRIC and how it clears the bank and other stuff. So I knew that, and like fortunately Jenny had kind of given me a heads up beforehand, so I knew it was going to be challenging. But then anyway, it ended up that there were some things not listed on NEMRIC that made it out of bounds. But I came and I met with Jenny for like 2 hours too. We tried to figure out stuff, and she eventually figured out what it was and made it balance. So it's in balance, but it just was. So hopefully it's not really.
Oh, she mentioned that because you came in right after I met with her, that it was a particularly difficult month.
It's just, I don't know how we're gonna figure out the whole. Things just come in differently if it comes through credit card or if it comes like the.
Well, she has the electronic reader.
Right, like
check
those
reader.
things come differently too, and anyway, it's just. It's
So they
a
just can't-
challenge to try to figure it out.
You can't see her deposits on the account online,
Like on,
like,
no, like she gets all these reports, and like we have all these other, she's able to list all the deposits.
Mhm.
So I had that paperwork as well as her cheat sheet, as well as the bank statement, and then it's just trying to make it all work.
It's not like getting a single report that you can go down
Right,
and
well, or
check,
just
check,
like
check.
when things come in the bank, even just how they come in, how they're grouped together or something, it's just tricky, so it's just hard to figure out, but
Well, thank you for persevering with that.
yeah,
Because,
well, Jenny who's figured it out, but
well, you were by her side, so good job. Hopefully the next month will be easier. Stuff's still coming in.
hopefully it'll be easier, see.
Okay, Meredith. You select board, you've been out of commission a little bit.
I think I missed the most recent one, cause I was just talking with Patty about it, so I need to watch that. So I don't have an update for Hubbard.
I have not been reading the
Minutes.
minutes. I meant to do that, but I was,
It's
so,
Yeah,
the helpful one, I would get an email that would have them there, I mean, now I guess.
now,
I'll be-
well, you have to link to it, but.
the previous one, I did go through and nothing had come in the mail, but what was the most recent meeting date? I'm not even sure. My procedure.
Well, that's,
I
yours,
dropped the ball a bit.
well, I think when you have medical procedures, that takes priority.
Yeah, well,
Well, and me too.
yeah.
So this month has been difficult. Okay, so the board orders we should sign before we leave. No update from the Hubbard brothers. Just leave them. So we're just gonna say no July update.
Yeah, so
Carry
there
that
was a
forward.
meeting last Thursday that I missed,
Mhm.
so that I'll look into that.
Just go check it out.
Yeah, I'll listen, I'll make sure it was.
Oh, great. And because of all these things, I didn't present to the select board either.
That's right.
One of the nice things, though, the internal financial controls checklist that we spent so much time on is one of the things that are required for the
Outside audit.
outside. Well, not required. Well, they want something. They don't ask for that specifically, but they want that information. And I just thought, we have it for you. Here it is. Boom.
That's great. Thank you for
That's
keeping us going on that.
what I haven't done. I would like to do is between now and September is go back to their list from 2018 and just go over it and see all the things we checked off.
Okay,
A few things we decided not to do, but
from their list of recommendations.
oh, mainly, one of them was cash handling.
Right,
And there was something but there's something about how the trust funds are monitored that when we look at it, we'll talk about it.
okay.
There's a couple things that may come up anyhow again, but I think we fixed a lot of this, so. So in the external audit, last time we in our administrative tasks session, we were pulling out some of the data we need, end of year reports, statements on the trust funds. But we couldn't finish that task because it was still June. We needed the June 30th one.
Yeah.
So, so I think we'll be able to do some of that stuff. Anything left over for that, we might be able to do at our next meeting in August.
Okay.
Things should have come in and I'll know what we're missing. So we should be okay on that. So other than that, just as I reported what I've done so far on that. And a lot of it is now actually in Jenny's hands. So I guess I'll just say we're in the process of collecting info and data for to do with Jenny. Oh, and Jenny said she would she wants to finish wrapping up the year and finish with the taxes. And then she'd sit down and focus on doing all these reports. Some of them, they don't look that hard because it's a NEMRIC report.
Right.
But to set it up, you put all the parameters in and so on, it takes a little time. So she's sort of going to set time outside for that. And I've asked people to get me stuff by the end of August. I feel that's reasonable.
Mm-hmm. I mean, for
this to-do list.
okay.
Well, actually, I guess we should have an addition to the agenda, and that would be, let's start taking a look at the treasurer's report from fiscal year 6. And Jenny gave us some first steps from first drafts, so that we should take a look at that now, I guess. So every year, I have to relearn how to do this, how to look at this stuff. This page is the actual expenses versus actual revenues.
The year-end final, is that what you're looking at?
Year-end final.
That's what I'm looking at.
I think that's the first one to look at. Now this shows what I saw on the top there. It shows what money has been shifted to this tax stabilization fund
Mm-hmm.
and what's been shifted to the municipal facilities fund. and the highway surplus fund.
So what is excess surplus? They just didn't
That's,
attribute it?
well, that's what's left over after the 25,000 and 25,000. And
Right,
that just goes back into I think that goes directly into next year. And that doesn't go into the reserve stabilization fund, it just buys down the
next
the
year's.
budget, next year's budget directly. We had a talk about a couple of years ago when we had a surplus.
Yeah, he has to vote.
I made it trip, I'm here.
Yeah, yeah,
Do you wanna mention something? Sean?
yeah, well, let me do it, let me do it.
Want me to pause the meeting?
Yes, please. Could you get my email? External, yes, so. Okay, so back to
There's
the,
usually some number on here that we end up finding, and I should have brought mine. I didn't put in anything. Things.
I forgot to do that too, but I have notes on the old ones. So, but anyhow, this does show the things that she moved at the end of the fiscal year into this reserve funds. And then, so that's the expenses. So we have, yeah, so there we have the normal, the expenses came out to the 51,800, so on. And then moved the 50,000 and the highway surplus, and then plow the excess surplus back into paying down next year. And then we have tax, delinquent tax, current use. We get that from the state. Current use. That's the
Is it not the listers?
current use, but this is money that's come in.
I don't know.
Current use, you know,
Right,
is
I'm thinking of a total wrong thing.
okay. Grants, fines, TC fees. TC.
Transfer station.
Yeah.
Transfer
Oh.
grant, I think.
Yeah, thank you. And other. And we can look at the details come out in the other. There, these add up. And she has highlighted there in the last column, total. the amount that came in from delinquent tax. Seems like a lot. And the amount from town fees. So. Straightforward so far. We'll compare those numbers later. When we get the detailed stuff. Are you doing some math?
Like, no, I have to, listen. Responding to a message here, sorry.
No. If you look at the tax rate printout. This is for the coming year, so this is actually fiscal year 27, and it shows the numbers for how the tax rate was calculated. And there you can see the excess surplus. There on that, it's taken out of the.
Yeah, next year's.
So that directly correlates. Total to be raised, here's the grand list. And compare it to last year, you compare the rate to last year, it's only 100 higher.
0.2, is it, or 0.3?
0.0.
Wait,
I'm looking. Oh, I'm looking at the town budget. There's the highway budget. Is that
oh, I see.
just a little?
Yeah, I'm looking at the grand total, that's what I was looking at.
Grand
First,
total is less than 1%. Higher than last year.
Is some of that to, no, this is for next year.
This is for next year, so we're really not looking.
Right.
I guess what we see here is that excess surplus being applied.
I guess my point was that last year, I know at least they had a difference in employees. Like fewer employees last year, with fewer employee hours, and so. Some of the surplus may have come from that.
Oh,
Yeah, also. The budgeting, maybe because it was probably budgeted to be fully employed last year, so the budget is actually not any different, not different because of the actual hours.
Yeah. And I think I personally like the fact that they budget conservatively, so that we have the excess money for stabilization and surplus, because things can change drastically, and being able to avoid some of the bumps, I think is just very good, and also be ready for the catastrophes where a truck has to be replaced, for example. It eases the pain. So that's that one.
So feeling like we're not able to do this as well, since we don't have our notes from last year to figure out what, because every year we found that. Like there's something which I think we shared with Jenny, and so then she.
Every year there's something.
Right, but we have found something, so it makes me nervous not to.
Oh, well, this it's a start. We can get some of this out of the way, and some of it will have to. For example, if you look at this is tax rate. This gives a historical perspective of the tax rate. So. Oh yeah, so it has jumped a little bit
Yeah.
over time.
in 10 years. But it hasn't jumped much since last year, the last almost 5 years.
Yeah, it's been pretty slow, steady growth. Total there. So that's something that just that really connects with the tax rate calculations.
Let's see how low the CLA is.
Wait. How can it
What
be
is
so
CLA?
low from one year to the next?
I don't understand what the CLA
Oh,
essay is,
oh, I see.
but the CLA is,
Oh,
yeah. So that's why
What's
they're
the
going to have
CLA? What's that mean?
common level of appraisal. So that's how low our appraisal rates are on our homes. So they're only being valued at 62% of their actual value. So technically, our tax structure should stay the same when the new evaluation gets done, but that's still not till is it 30? I believe is when it's being done. And a lot of communities in Vermont have been going through this, and it's pretty shocking because your home value, let's say it was 250, will go up to maybe 500 or more. But when you see that, doesn't mean your taxes necessarily.
right,
Our
because
tax
everybody
rate,
else's goes up.
right?
So
Our tax rate should drop.
and then it's better for, at least the way it's structured now, the school money we get from the state.
Yeah, but that's not going to change.
But that's gonna change.
It's all become a constant number that the state decides to give it all communities.
So what is the SA then? Because that
Yeah, I don't know.
CL, common level of appraisal, SA. That's where,
Appraisal.
because that's a higher number, so.
And it's changed. It changed
Yeah.
almost 12 points, is it?
Yeah, it's a lot. Homestead.
You mean change from the year before or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, not quite 12.
Statewide adjustment. That's what the.
What?
Statewide adjustment. Yeah, so that, I was wondering, so that is another number that the state throws in there, and like this year they added a bunch of money to bring down property taxes. One-time money.
Hmm. Okay. And that reappraisal is gonna cost a lot of money.
Yes,
To the town.
but yes, but we do have an account for that.
Okay, use that. Okay, so just looking at this. Budget versus actual. The highway. This is some of the same numbers that we see on the end of the year weekend, only it's in thousands. So the budget was 554,000 for the town. And the actual expenditures was 572,000. So how did we end? Well, after the 50,000 is taken out.
Yeah, but how did we be able to move? How did we have a surplus to move if our expenditures were so much over?
Well, the reason the expenditures are over right there is because they've already taken out the 54,000.
Right.
So if you take 54,054 out of that, our expenditures were actually much lower.
So
that's-
but we're over budget by moving that money so then
right, so let's,
why did we move the money then?
Is
it,
I think it evens out,
okay,
so revenue budget. Revenue actual, so if the revenue budget for the town, I'm just looking at the town, was $83,000. But the actual revenue was $120,000. There's some of that money right there. And in this case.
Yeah, so we don't have the full numbers, right, so we don't know where that surplus in actual revenue came in.
Right, when we get the detailed list.
Right.
We'll be circling the specific numbers. But this is, I guess, what we're gonna keep in mind. And also as an accounting, it's a little bit confusing that it looks like it's a deficit because it's in parentheses. But when you're talking about revenue, it's actually over budget. So in the line above, the section above, it's 18,000 over budget, meaning we spent that much more. But that's complicated by the 54 that we took out extra. And then we had the 37,000 over in revenue. Also in the highway, we have the 20,000. And so these are things, actually, so now we'll specifically look for those when we see the detailed numbers.
So, pardon my ignorance
Yeah.
here, but so could part of the revenue, and obviously without seeing it, we don't know, but come from like the people who haven't paid their taxes finally paying?
The delinquent tax.
Delinquent tax.
Yeah, in fact, if we look back at this one, delinquent tax was $46,000.
Yeah, that's a chunk.
Yeah, I think there was an impression that last year there was less delinquent tax because
there was.
they were all paid, people got paid out.
Right,
Yeah, I was trying to actually find the report.
Devin did such a great job of kind of, right, let's see.
Yeah,
We usually get that report or separate, right?
whole.
And reports, there we go.
Is it in here? The delinquent tax.
But that won't be for this year, right? Or you're just looking.
But it will tell us what last year was.
14.
So. Delinquent tax. At the end of 24-25, $38,000 in delinquent tax.
Was still owed.
But still owed.
Oh, there it is.
So. Revenue. Delinquent tax. So. Last year, at the end of the year, 34,000 was collected in delinquent tax. Oh. Very little delinquent tax left from long ago, like each year is $300 and change. Up to 2021. And then it jumps up a little bit. So we'll be able to compare those numbers.
Yeah, it's 73, it was owed, is that for last year? Is that what you got from that?
No.
No, because that's the bottom number.
Oh.
In total delinquent tax, that's not what they collected.
But what was owed?
Yes.
we'll have that chart.
Okay,
And we'll compare the charts too, because that's one of the places where numbers sometimes get spiced. And then expenditure budget. Net of current tax consideration. I'm not clear on this one. But budget net, the 471 matches current net tax budget. Oh, okay, so the budget. We had 554 budgeted for expenses, 83 for budgeted for revenue. And then the actual expenditure was pre-surplus, right? Pre-surplus. That's makes it easier to know those numbers. 518 expenditure and 120 actual. So there's where we came in $73,000 under budget in the town. I don't understand is this surplus too.
I'm sorry, when they say when she says pre-surplus, is that before she's taken the surplus out or?
Yeah,
the-
that would be before she's taken the green highlighted squares out.
Yeah, I don't have that, but anyway, yes.
Oh, you don't have that.
That's okay, I do have gray.
Up there.
Yeah,
So a little box of gray.
right,
So if you took that from the 572. Wait a minute, that's about right. And you have the actual. I'm not sure what the 51% is.
of the total of that 773.42, it's 51% and 49%. I'm not sure why.
Oh, of the
Yeah, the
okay.
town versus the highway.
Right,
I'm not sure
but
why that needs to be there.
yeah, it seems an odd place to put it. So anyhow, those numbers seem to add up to me. Looking at the highway, there's the highway surplus is another shaded box there, 33,000, 33 point blah blah blah. So if you take that out. Take that off the 531, you get down below 497. That's pre-surplus. $20,000. So this hopefully gets our mind in shape to look at the next batch. Papers. I think Jenny had these done first because she had to do these as she was making up the tax rates for the new year. So next time we come, we should have the complete report. So bring your cheat sheets from previous years. Take those out. All good?
I guess so.
Any other thoughts about this or town finances or anything else?
Are we at the end of our agenda?
Here we are.
Oh,
Except, the things that just, we need to keep doing the external audit and trust funds and the
Hubbard, Brothers, we haven't heard anything.
Hubbard is no update at the moment.
Do we need to set the agenda for next time, which I
Yeah,
can't do at the moment, but I can.
I think the agenda is pretty much the same. So minutes, agenda review, auditor activities, town finances. Oh, did someone sign the book already?
I did.
Thank you. Now that we did that. Hubbard updates, external audit. What we need to add is review treasurer's report. Or fiscal
What is that,
year.
working meeting? I think we do that as a separate. I get confused about what.
Well, what we can do is we should. We can have the meeting to check in on all these things. And then if we're just doing review, we can move into administrative tasks.
Okay.
So that's what we should, I think that's what we should do.
okay,
Do a practical for meeting and then move into digging deep into the
good idea.
finances. All right then, well, let's call the meeting to a halt. What time is it?
10:58.
That
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 10:58.
Second.
All right,
all in favor?
and